All right, hello and welcome to Swing It and Ding It, an iHeartMedia podcast. This is Moose along with Mays and Matthews on this Postmasters show. And what a Masters it was. Harry, have you recovered? Are you good? Are you still worried about the baby, whether the baby's going to come? Like, where are you at? Where are you at right now?
No, it's a quick turnaround, Moose, because we have another elevated signature event this week in Hilton Head. So there's, I quickly put the W away, moved up to 12th in the standings in the one and done pool from 32nd with the win, and I'm on to the next.
Unbelievable. And Scotty's still in the field for the RBC,
Yeah.
which is interested. Danielle, your boy.
And Sam
you're a
Burns.
Scotty guy,
Wait,
right?
I am, but I have to show you. I won in another Draftkings fantasy lineup where I had Scotty. I mean, I only won $15, but still, I was like in like 130,000th place out of like 7 million. But I had Scotty in that lineup, and of course, I was like, well, in the swing and dang it, I'll leave Scotty out. So didn't win there.
$12,000.
What's that?
He was $12,000.
I know.
Well, that's why I said I'm like that money, but I had him in my other one, but I don't know. I don't remember how I performed. I just know I wasn't in the money in our league.
And we will get into all of the Masters. We had Jason Bale on last week, who helped Lucas Glover to a T20 in the Masters. Yeah. Good showing. But we stayed down south with someone who was smart enough to leave this area as we get ready to have rain for 2 more days in the Philadelphia area. Our friend, a return guest, Chris Hanson. Welcome back to Swing It and Ding It, man.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Chris, Absolutely. Why aren't we doing this together? We could have met up. Right? We could have been in the same room.
Met at a coffee shop.
How far apart are you guys? Are you that close?
We're pretty close. 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Tremendous. Well, tell the people who you've been on before with us. Tell the folks what you're up to now, what you're doing. We want to get in a little bit to the teaching side of golf and wondering if people are trying to move their feet like Scotty Scheffler now and it's driving you crazy. But talk about what you're up to these days.
So yeah, I've moved down. My wife and I moved down here in October, and I'm one of the PGA teaching professionals at the club at Ibis down in West Palm Beach, working for Martin Hall, which we all know Martin Hall. He hired me. So I met Martin about a year and a half ago. I actually took a lesson from him at the Bears Club. We have a mutual friend, and I said to my friend, "You think you can set me up with Martin? I'd love to get a lesson from him." And sure enough, 2-hour lesson with Martin at the Bears Club. We shook hands at the end and we exchanged numbers, and that was really it. And then I was up in Philly last August, and I get a text from Martin. "Hey, give me a call. I have a position. Someone's leaving. If you're interested in coming down here and teaching, let's set up a conversation." So we did that. And long story short, I flew down last August, met the director of golf. Her name is Robin. She's an amazing director of golf at the club, and took a tour. And I was down here in October. Started November 1st.
Wow.
So
talk about the change from the Northeast coming down to South Florida, where it's literally like, as I say, is like the golf capital of the world.
It's great. So I started when I was an assistant. I spent my winters down here working at the Lost Tree Club in North Palm Beach. So I've known the area for a long time, and I've had it kind of on my mind, like this is a place that I want to be someday. And the transition's been easy. A little rough in the beginning, just the whole move and getting situated. But knowing the area helped, and we have a handful of friends down here, and it's going well. And the teaching, I love teaching, and it's going really well. So it's a great spot I'm at.
Yeah, tell us about that spot, the club at Ibis. The facilities are just off the charts, amazing, right?
Yes. So there's 3 18-hole Nicklaus courses.
Wow.
There's 1,800 homes inside the gates of Ibis. So you have to live in there to be a member. So we have like 1,800 members. Okay.
Wow.
And they're not all golf members, right? Some are just, don't play golf, but they're there for, just the social aspect. Right. But I mean, the practice range, we have a north and south practice range, which is just unbelievable, where you could probably get 75 on each end, 75 players hitting balls on each end of the range. Our teaching center is on the south end, and that's where Martin has his academy. And then short game areas and putting greens. And if you want to get better at golf, and what's great for the members that they live there, they all have their own golf carts. So they take their golf carts over to practice or to their tee time, or, pickleball is huge. Tennis, it's a big tennis center. Daniel Berger's dad, Jay Berger, is the director of tennis. So he's the lead tennis professional there. And he teaches a lot of good juniors, and Matt Kuchar's one son is a really good tennis player. So Matt's there a lot because his son's down there hitting with Jay and taking tennis lessons. So it's quite the place. It's like, I think the best way I can describe it, Ibis is like a private resort, right? So the members, like I said, live in there, and they don't have to leave. There's restaurants and bars and spa and fitness centers and everything else I mentioned. So it's a cool place. Yeah.
Sounds like the future, Harry. It sounds like the future.
Yeah.
I see Harry Mays. I see his wheels spinning right now.
Harry would not leave that range. He would be
He's like Hanson. Keep an eye for some for sale signs in there for Harry.
Well, that's the hard thing, right? That's what people are struggling with. That
real estate down here is.
Yeah.
You probably can't get into Ibis for under like $5 million.
Crazy. So talk about Martin Hall for a second, obviously, right? Very famous guy. You went there. I think that was really cool, though, that you actually went and took a lesson with him. That was probably pretty smart. What a better way to get to know someone and for them to get to know you. Any appearances by Chris Hanson on the School of Golf coming up?
Unfortunately, no. They just finished filming season 14. So they just recently finished that. But I don't know if you know, Martin was named Golf Digest legend, one of the legendary teachers. Golf Digest recently named him. I think there's only 20 named, and he was one of them. So he's a legend, and he never stops. He's always working, always teaching, always still learning. Wants us to learn. He lets us, if we want, we can shadow him while he teaches. Just stand in and just watch him teach. I did that when I first got down here, and it's amazing how much you just learn from the man, and the way.
What's that style, Chris, with him, right? Because he's been doing it for a while, right? And we know some other people that have been doing it for a long time, and it's like, they want to rely on the numbers and the TrackMan and analyze everything, but some guys that have been doing it for a while don't need a lot of that, right? And so I think some people rely heavily on it, but when you have all that experience, what would you say his style is, right? If there's going to be 3 takeaways of someone to meet with, or when you had your lesson with him, like what are the things that that he is going to drive home with everyone he teaches?
So. Yeah, good question. He's not complicated. Okay, he uses video. Obviously, we all use video, and training aids, and he's big on drills. And a lot of it is just, it's pretty simple. We all, we keeping the arms straight at address, backswing, and follow through. Just straight arms is huge with. Keeping the club face stable and hitting it solid. But he's big with training aids and drills. I see him working with some really good junior players. He's got a stable of good junior players, and I see them over there on the side, and they're doing like a lot of half shots just to kind of get feel. But a lot of it is just a lot of rotation with the body and straight arms and connection and keep it simple. You watch him on the School of Golf. I've learned so much just from those shows before I met him. I used my own teaching. So he's just keeps it simple and fun, and he's great to work with.
What about your teaching approach with all the technology, maybe for some of the not so advanced players that want to know, everything? They want to be on every piece of technology out there. What have you taken from Martin, or what have you implemented yourself that you've been working with lately?
So, with most our students, we all have tripods and iPads, right? And we use, we all have our own app, whichever swing app we use. We have launch monitors. If we have some members want to see their numbers, right? We're all hooked on numbers now: ball speed, swing speed, launch, and face, and all that. It's not for everybody. But some members want to see that. So we all have launch monitors if we want to set that up. And we just kind of go with the person, and some just want to, I'm a field player. I don't want to see my swing on video. Just tell me what to do, put me in the right position. And everybody's different, but I've definitely learned, I think having the tripod and the iPad set up and taking some film, and then let's go sit down and talk about it instead of just sitting there, pulling a ball over, hitting ball after ball. Let's draw some lines and swing plane and look at it. And that's helped my teaching a lot. And Martin's big on video. So it's important that we do film most of our students.
Well, now you've been at several places now over your career. You started at Plymouth Country Club, which is now the 1912 Club. You spent over 20 years there as the assistant and the head professional there. Then you went to the Bala Golf Club, the Big B, for a couple of years, and now down at the club at Ibis. And you're getting to, you're knowing new people now. What's the biggest challenge with getting a person now, for the first time that you might not know anything about their background, and you got them there for a lesson?
So number one, the biggest challenge was here. I'm coming in new, right? I don't know anybody.
Right.
And, there's 11 of us that teach at Ibis. So we have 11 instructors. And so, it's building a business. So in the beginning, I was, I'd come to work and I was walking the tee. Okay. Shaking hands. How are you? Can I help you? Can I, giving a little tip here and there. That's amazing. I mean, some of my clients that I told them something for 5 minutes as I was walking the tee line, and give me your number. And then, now that person's coming every week for a lesson. So that's
what Tony Bruno used to say, kissing hands, shaking babies.
That's right.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right, man.
So that, that's how it started. And then just kind of word of mouth. Like, we have a lot of Philadelphia members. So, I did know a few of them, and they kind of spread the word. We have and it just grew and grew. And every week got busier. So, but with that new student, it's just, you talk to them first, tell me about your game, how long you've been playing, what's going on, what's the golf ball doing. And, then we watch them hit some shots and do the video if they want, and give them a follow-up after that. That's the key that I noticed. So later in the day, at the end of the day, evening, I'll send everybody a follow-up with some pictures and some videos and what we worked on. And that's how it's going.
Chris, so we talked about Scotty. We joked about it in the beginning, but I know you, and I know other people that teach golf watch golf a little bit differently than I do, right? I'm looking at stuff, but you're looking at the golf swing, right? And you're looking at it in a different way than most. What are you seeing? I joked about people trying to learn how to shuffle their feet, but it's possible, right? Everyone was chasing distance for the past couple of years. Now it's like, how do I do this? But what do you see in him that makes him the ball striker he is, regardless of what's going on with his feet, or because of what he's going on with his feet? Like, how do you explain what this guy is doing with his golf swing right now?
Well, it's his swing, right? I mean, the foot action. I don't know if you remember when Greg Norman was playing well, he had a similar action with his right foot really slid towards his left. And, you talk about ground force and using the feet to push, and, but you can't teach what Scotty's doing, right? I mean, you try that on the range, you're going to roll an ankle, right? I mean, it's going to happen, but what I like about him, he gets on the range. Okay. And, Randy Smith is coach, who's taught some great players over the years, Justin Leonard, and a lot of good players coming out of the Dallas area. But he doesn't have the launch monitors in it. Maybe he has an alignment stick on the ground, and that's it. I mean, he's just, he swings his swing. It's an upright swing, which is good. I saw a comparison with his backswing and Jack Nicklaus's backswing, and there's some similarities, but he just knows, where to miss it, right? Like, if he wasn't missing it left on 11 like those other guys were, he missed a little right, and then his chipping is so good, right? Yeah. I mean,
Harry talked about it last week that people focus on the ball striking and the iron play, but he is a master around around the greens.
Yeah. I mean, he's just so confident, and he just swings a swing, and he hits it, and he's not the longest out there. I think he'll admit that, but I like what he said when, he said with the fairways being a little wider, he said he just tried to hit it hard. Just tried to hit it hard at Augusta. And you look at it, but you look at his, the shot tracer, right? I mean, that ball doesn't move, right? There's very little curve on his ball. And I mean, that swing's going to last a long time.
It's got to be so frustrating to play against him too, right? Especially if you're close, or because he just doesn't seem to mess up, right? It's like, like down the stretch, it takes someone to have a great shot, and it usually takes someone to rinse one or have a bad shot. And man, he just does not seem to miss. It must be so frustrating when you're trying to chase him, or if he's chasing you, and especially if you're in the same group with him and you're like, this guy does not hit a bad shot. And Chris, do you think that's just his setup, or the way his swing and how he approaches it?
I think it's both. I mean, he sets up the same. His alignment looks the same every time. He just looks the same every time, and his tempo doesn't change, and it's just amazing to watch. I mean, we're witnessing greatness right now. It's the run he's on is just incredible.
Well, I know you do watch a lot of golf, aside from teaching and playing your own game. Aside from Scotty, on any tour right now, who are some of the swings, or what are some of the swings that are jumping out at you?
I love watching Nelly Korda swing. I mean, I watch her on repeat all the time. I mean, that golf swing, I think, is the best in golf, in my opinion. Just it's on plane. It's just fluid, a lot of rotation, and she hits it straight as a string. So I love watching her swing. Tommy Fleetwood, I think, is a good swing to watch. Same thing.
Did he get his first win this week? Some are saying he could get his first win. Harry Mays might be on him. I don't know.
I think it's coming. Yeah, he's close. So I like Tom. I like Max Homa's swing. I've been watching him a lot lately, and pretty simple, right? I mean, not a lot of moving parts, a lot of rotation. Arms are connected, and I really like those three right now.
Yeah, no doubt. So what's the biggest difference, Chris, between golf in the Philadelphia area and golf in the Florida area? Like, what are like, if I'm coming down there to play, what are some of the things you're telling me about the golf down there that just is different?
Well, I mean, it's flatter, right? I mean, the courses are flatter. I think there's more water. I think there's. Pardon?
I said the grass.
Yeah, the grass.
It's all Bermuda, pretty much.
Bermuda
right?
grass.
Yeah.
We have a grass at Ibis. It's called Paspalum. And it kind of sits up a little bit. It's really nice turf. I think many of the courses in South Florida have gone to that type of grass.
Handles the heat really well, right?
It thrives in the heat, exactly. But yeah, the grass. I mean, like I said, just more water. I love Florida golf. I don't know. I feel like maybe there's a little more room to hit it down here than up in the Northeast. I mean, Philadelphia area has obviously some of the best golf in the country.
Flatter, room to hit it. Harry Mays. I mean, if he says they're taking out all the trees down there, you're buying a plane ticket. I know you.
This is perfect area for Harry.
Yeah, in many ways.
Although,
go ahead.
Real quick, we live on a golf course here. You can't see it over my left shoulder, but we're on the 17th hole of the golf club at Jupiter. Danielle, right, the Indian Creek area. And it's really tight. Actually, it winds through the condos, and we're on the 17th hole, and we've had many a times some tee shots in there are hitting our lanai. So
this is got to get out there and create a viral video. Like, there was a good one yesterday where the guy came out and approached
the old
guys
man?
on the green.
Yeah, the old guy. He had an iron in his hand.
And the guy hit again. He watched them, but they didn't show what happened.
Yeah.
No, because he goes, now move, go to the next hole. He goes, I didn't hit my shot yet. He's like, hit it. I'm out $800 for a window. It's like, buddy, you live on a golf course.
Right.
It's called insurance.
So
Well, speaking of,
go ahead.
Speaking of golf courses, the one over my shoulder, Harbor Town, where the PGA Tour is this week. I know you've had some experience there. What were your thoughts of playing that golf course, and what kind of game is going to suit that place to win the tartan jacket this week?
Well, it's claustrophobic, that place. I mean, I loved it. It's a great walk. It is awesome, but it's tight. And obviously, the greens are small. So I always said with small greens, and they're pretty much flat. If you hit a green, you got a chance of making some birdies if you're hitting the greens. But it's the straight driver of the ball. I think is going to win. I mean, Fitzpatrick won last year. Spieth won. I guess he lost the playoff last year. Won 2 years ago. He tends to spray it a little bit, but what's the yardage now? Like 7? Are they up to 72?
7,200, I think, somewhere around there. Yeah.
So, but it's tight. I mean, you some of those holes you're hitting out of chutes. Some of those par 4s and par 5s. I expect a lot of these guys to hit 3 woods and maybe some long irons. But I think I don't know. I think a guy like Wyndham Clark, I think, could do well this week. He had the weekend off last weekend, so he's probably rested and
good number.
Did well at Pebble, right? Similar greens.
Yeah.
Pebble has smaller greens. So I kind of like him a little bit. Cantlay's done well there. We know that.
Yeah.
I think he'll be hanging around. But yeah, it's going to be the guys that drive it straight. And then you got to be a good chipper on those little greens if you do miss the greens.
Awesome. We'll be watching. Make sure. Well, listen. Congratulations. Love what I'm seeing with the club at Ibis. Danielle, that's got to be on the list when I come down to finally see you guys and we do a little Florida golf. You know what I'm saying?
Come on down
here.
Yeah, no
doubt.
Down. Yeah, we have to. Continued success. Glad to have you back on. Glad to see you down there thriving and helping people play the game of golf. Exactly what you should be doing. And we will talk to you soon.
Great. Thank you for having me. Have a great week.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, see you, Chris.
Take care.
All right, let's take a quick break and we will be right back to recap the Masters. All right, welcome back to Swing It and Ding It. Great to talk to the great Chris Hanson, Harry. One of the good guys in the game.
Oh yeah. Yeah, finished just out of the money in our fantasy contest last week. Finished 4th, and his buddy Super Coop from Green Valley Country Club, I know, is going to be giving him the business because he finished 2nd to Eitan Shander, taking home the big prize.
How about it? How about that? What a leaderboard!
Yeah,
Eitan. I mean, come on, doesn't get any better than that. But the guy that was at the top of the leaderboard in Augusta for his 2nd green jacket. We talked about him a little bit. Scotty Scheffler has been number 1. He was number 1 for more than 80 weeks going into it. He wins back-to-back Players Championships. He goes 4 under 68, wins by 4 strokes. So he's the 4th youngest to win 2 green jackets. Jack, Tiger, and Seve. Seve are the other ones.
Yeah.
But it's only his 5th start, which is just wild. And 3 strokes or more, winning by 3 strokes or more. He's the 5th only to do it. Tiger, Seve, Jack, Sam Snead. So, I mean, the guy is in rarefied air, and seeing him play on Sunday, it just is masterful. The way he just navigates a course, like Chris said, hits the right spots, doesn't have big misses, and just keeps the competition at bay. Tremendous stuff.
Yeah, it really was amazing. And since early March this year, only 1 player has beaten him. Jaeger down in Houston.
Wow.
I mean, that's it. You just think that, the run that he's on, and he started the day, Sunday at 7 under par with a 1-shot lead over Colin Morikawa and 2 over Homa. And you're thinking, man, this settling in for some great drama.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. We get to the second 9 on Sunday when they say the tournament starts. And all of a sudden, everybody starts falling apart around him. They're making doubles. Morikawa doubles 9 and 11. Goodbye. Homa double at 12. See you later. And Ober made the double at 11. It's kind of a rookie young guy mistake that he'll probably never make again because, man, is that guy good.
Wow.
But he makes the double there, and you're thinking like it's Scotty's. All he's got to do is not screw up. Don't throw up on your shoes, through the second 9. But when he made a mistake, and I'll say a mistake, he made a bogey at 7. He comes back, birdie. Then he makes a bogey at 11. Then he goes birdie 13, birdie 14, birdie 16. I mean, he can just put the foot down on the accelerator and he just leaves you in the rearview mirror when he wants to. It was just amazing, masterful performance. And he didn't even have his A game with his irons. That's the scary thing about it. He wins by 4 shots and he didn't even have the A or A plus game that Brandel Chambly was talking about all week. Imagine if he had that, he might have been a 6-7 shot win. So
absolutely insane.
Yeah. I mean, the dude is just on fire right now. So we talked about Ober gets second, T3, Homa, Morikawa, and Fleetwood, who snuck in with a great Sunday because, like, you know, you weren't really seeing much out of him. Bryson and Cam Smith in the T6 spot. Xander, 8th. He's like a top 10 major machine, though, but he just can't get over the hump. And then T9, how about Zalatoris popping into another major with Terrell Hatton and Cam Young? But you know, it was good to see Bryson out there. I miss seeing Bryson on the PGA Tour.
Too.
Wait, what about moving the sign?
Oh, the sign
out of his way, carrying it over
on
his shoulder.
14 fairway. He's playing 13. I never saw a guy over there in that
spot.
What are you
doing?
And how about the shot he hit? How about the shot he hit? The caddy had no idea that yard. He's making up the yardage like by piecing it together because there's no way you walk that off from over there in a practice round.
No.
So he's sitting there doing the calculation. Bryson gets up and hits it to within inside 10 feet and makes the putt. It was tremendous.
But when I seen him walk over and pull the sign out of the ground over his shoulder, I'm like, what? And then
Augustus find him so much more likable.
Back.
Oh, yeah.
He's so much more likable now. I don't know. I'm with you, Moose. I was like, man, I miss this guy.
Right. Well, then they were talking about his driver, too. Like, I don't know if you guys were listening to that. So he's now using...
he has 2 of them.
Yeah,
he has like a baby driver or something.
And then he uses the long drive. He worked with the long drive, like World Long Drive Championship guys or whatever, has a long drive driver with 8.5 inches bulge. I was like trying to ask B about all of this. I'm like, I want to know, like, what is this? Like, you know, because I was like, who really knows how much bulge they have in their driver? I'm like, like, do you guys know? I'm like, I don't think
did he really
designed his own irons.
He 3D printed them and had to get them approved. Is that true? I thought it was like something fake. I thought that was a fake story.
Well,
no, I think
we'll get into fake news later, but
it was only approved earlier in the week. I didn't even know about that.
They did a whole segment on
it.
That's why I like he's so interesting, right? Like even you know, he's quirky. He's but he's somebody that like you have to watch to see what the heck's going on.
Yeah.
And we need
the funny
more
thing
of
is they say he's like a scientist, you know, when he was like soaking his golf balls in Epsom salt and watching them rotate. And then it started coming out. They're like, yeah, but he had like a 2.5 GPA. I was like, well, because he played golf and that's all he cared about. But so, yeah, he was interesting to watch. But I got to ask you guys, like somebody who I thought was just, I didn't want to watch. I was annoyed with watching was Rahm. I thought he looked like a pouty little baby, miserable out there. And just like, I was annoyed. I wasn't interested in watching him play. It's just his attitude, his demeanor. Like, it was like, woe is me.
I think he's a man full of regret.
I think he's having regret, and I think it's showing. And you know, sometimes it just is so weird to me because it's like, I get it, right? I get taking that money, but like you're already an extraordinarily wealthy person who is probably going to be even more wealthy, right? How much is enough to make you happy, right? And if it's not making you happy, and you're missing something and you're thinking to yourself, this is where I want to be. And we're speculating, right? Who knows? Could be something else going on in his life, but it just seems that way. You know, he's pushing for 72 holes. He's trying to change things around. Even the way he answered questions were like, does it feel the same? He's like, of course it feels the same. Like he's very defensive about it. It just seems
I'm only
like
answering this question once. Like, but he's also in previous weeks came out and was like, yes, I miss the PGA Tour. I miss this event. I miss that event. So
said he drove by Waste Management the whole week and he was like, because he lives out there.
I feel bad for the guy. Like, that's tough. It's like, but like you said, so like, if you offer, you know, someone like us several $1 million to go play live, that's life-changing. You can set up generational wealth for your family. Like, we understand that. But for someone who has so much money, it's like, what, you have a couple more zeros in the bank account, but you're miserable. And you're, you know, the history and the things that matter to you in life are gone. And I wonder about the other 13 players that played in the Masters they were combined 82 over par with Bubba, DJ, Moronk, Schwartzel, and Sergio all missing the cut. So not a great showing for Liv at the Masters.
And even Brooks at T45, right? You're expecting to see him complete non-factor, and you don't expect to see that, especially in a major, and especially the Masters where he played well last year and you thought he was going to come back. Phil gets a T43, and then obviously Tiger. We'll talk about Tiger, who finishes in
DFL.
60th. DFL makes the cut, but what did you guys see out of Tiger? What are you optimistic for the future?
No, I'm not. And I saw a guy who's in just tremendous discomfort. He just looks like he's so fighting back pain. I can't imagine what he goes through to just get ready to play a round of golf. And he had the short turnaround on Thursday, Friday. The weather was a factor because he had to get out there really early on Friday morning, finish up his round, and then had about an hour, maybe an hour and 20 minutes or so until the second round. Played 23 holes in one day, which was almost as much as golf as he'd played in competition the entire year leading up to this, which is amazing. And I felt for him, man, because he's out there gutting it out. But my goodness, if this is what we got, where he's just going to finish last as making the cut, is that really what he wants to do? Like, I'm just sort of wondering, like, how long is, if this is what it is, how long does he keep doing it? You know what I mean?
But yes, I'm with you.
I love the clothes though. I'm
they're
totally
growing on me.
it.
I'm not going to lie.
Into it.
It's funny. One of you guys texted. You're like, "Hey, I think I want." I'm still not sold, but clothes I don't love. The Malbon on Jason Day. Augusta asked him to take off his sweater.
I don't blame him.
What do we think? We were going through the looks, like some of those like cargo pants, and then he had like this like mesh pocket with his sunglasses in it. I'm like, I get it. And hey, we're talking about it. And Malbon like does put out some cool products, but didn't love the Masters look.
No,
on
it's not for
anything. Me. No, there was one, the Malbon sweater, like the classic sweater that just said Malbon across it, like that. That was clean, simple. Everything else, I was like, you couldn't pay. Well, you could pay me to wear.
Yeah,
yeah, and I tweeted about it too. It's like I feel like he's being used by this company, right? just to have everyone talking about it. I don't think that's truly what everything's going to look like in the future. But I think he's like I guess he wanted to look cool and go with the new hip thing, but like I feel like he's being used by them just to make a statement out there.
You're trolling him.
Yeah, I did.
Well, the pants that he wore on Thursday in the first round, he's playing with Tiger too, so everybody's watching him, right? They look like they were sweatpants that you got out of the hamper. Literally, they did. I mean, come on, I don't know.
Yeah, it was tough.
I know I'm an old guy. But
yeah,
but
and I love
Harry,
the new stuff. You know me, I like the joggers.
I know, yeah, you're hip.
And I'm out. I'm out on
Moose
on the
is hip.
Marlboro
He's wearing a flat brim hat. I mean, he's
They don't look really good. They don't look good on my head. I can't.
He
really
got
pull
like
that
those
off,
Scotty, the peach Scotty pants, or is that the color they were?
I got the green ones. I haven't.
The green ones.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I haven't busted them out yet. I think I might save them for Pebble Beach, but
hey, there we go.
We will see.
Yeah, but Malbon, I was out on that.
Yeah. All right. So listen, great Masters, obviously. Looking forward to the rest of the majors now. Really love the courses this year and excited about it. Another major you have on the LPGA side, we talked about Nelly Korda going for her fourth win in a row at the Chevron.
One for a fifth. It was the fifth.
Oh, well, she has
it. Is her fifth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She's won her last 4 starts in a row.
Yeah, incredible, man. Going for 5 in a row in her second major at the Chevron. And she's plus 550 on DraftKings to win. The next favorite, Moose and Danielle, is like plus 2,500.
Wow.
Think about that drop off.
Yeah.
I mean, the best player in the world might not be Scotty Scheffler, right? He might be the best male player because she is just incredible.
Unbelievable. You heard Chris Hanson. It's his favorite swing on any tour now is Nelly Korda.
That's right.
Yeah, so I'll be watching a lot of that. They come on the Golf Channel Thursday and Friday morning at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and then they come back at 6 p. to 8 p. And then on the weekends, it's Saturday, Sunday on NBC from 3 to 6 in the afternoon. So, I'll be watching that.
Oh, yeah. Danielle, I think you have some tea. You teased it a little bit. Well, talk to us about what you got going on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the rumor mill, right? So I'm like, okay, is he just trying to win that PIP money? Did he start this own rumor or what's happening? But it came out that Rory was rumored to going to live for an astronomical amount of money and possibly even some stake in the LIV Tour. He ended up coming out and saying, absolutely not. I've never been offered a number from LIV, and I've never contemplated going to LIV, and finished by saying, I will play the PGA Tour for the rest of my career. So, yeah, a lot of rumors coming there. Brandel, before Rory confirming that they were indeed rumors, he said, he'd be surprised if it turned out to be true, and that he thought that LIV was the one starting this rumor to benefit them after such a poor showing at the Masters. So
apparently Greg Norman was following Rory's group the entire Thursday, Friday, whatever days he was there early in the week.
Wow.
Yeah, he was. And I heard I was talking to Brad over the weekend, and he did say that he was indeed following Rory and them around. We also obviously all heard, I don't know if we mentioned this or not, but he paid for his own ticket. He couldn't get a ticket. Yeah. And then also it was rumored that he reached out to Grayson and was like, hey, I'm going to be at the Masters. If you guys want to send me anything, I'll wear it. Happy to promote it for you. They obviously were like, no.
Wow.
But it's kind of sad paying for your own ticket, trying to get some free gear to wear there. I don't know exactly.
Well, he makes his own gear. Greg Norman.
Where's your shark?
Yeah.
Put your old school shark polo on.
Some of the stuff is nice.
It is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is he still selling that? Is that?
I don't know. I mean,
I see it occasionally out there in different shops.
Yeah.
I always liked it.
Yeah.
Wow. That's great. But I tell you, and I know you probably have more tea, Danielle, but if that did happen, and it wouldn't shock me, it wouldn't shock me one bit. Nothing would anymore with these guys. But if that was the move and he goes for $850 million or whatever the rumored amount is, it doesn't even matter. I think that would be the move that brings action, where the two tours get together. Like Rahm thought him going over was going to do that. And it's kind of an arrogant thing to say, but he was wrong. It didn't do it. But if Rory went, I think that's where PGA Tour and the PIF get together.
Yeah, I agree.
I
agree. So, what are we talking about here? I'd lost my train of thought. Wait, you know what? We forgot to talk about our guy Neil Shipley at the Masters. We got to talk about that. And if you get a chance, go back and listen to Pat McAfee's interview with him yesterday, because it was awesome. But they have him in the press conference and they ask him, did Tiger slip you a note? And he gives a look and he says he has no idea. He didn't know who that reporter was, and he has no idea what that guy was talking about. But it was such a funny viral moment that he didn't see coming. Then he goes into Butler cabin and he doesn't realize he's on camera. He's looking at the teleprompter, just scared to death, not wanting to say something stupid. And you have that side eye look. Man, it was so good. It was so funny.
And he's got the mullet, the hair is great. Yeah.
And Pat was like, so when you went back to the house with your boys, how soon did you really? He goes, within like an hour, I just realized I was a meme machine. And like, I was everywhere. He goes, I had no idea, leaving there what this was going to become, but it was awesome. It was so funny.
Yeah. Great. And great showing out of him. I mean,
yeah,
think about that. Like, you get to play with your idol, the guy that you grew up watching and wanting to be like, and you get to play the final round at Augusta National with him. I mean, that's dreams come true. I mean, it's not just making it to the Masters, but you get to play with Tiger.
Oh my God. And he said it was a great experience. He said he was like super cordial, like, talking about his kids and talking about their path and what they're doing, which you love to hear and love to see. Great stuff. Make sure you go check out that interview.
I saw him walking down, I think it might have been the 10th fairway as they started the second 9, and they're talking, and Tiger was like laughing. Like, he got Tiger to laugh, which is not easy to do on a golf course. Okay. I don't know what he's like off the golf course, but when he's playing golf, he's dialed in, and you very rarely see a lot of smiles cracked unless he's playing at, one of those hit and giggle, events in December. But this, this is final round of the Masters. And I know he was a long way out of it, but still he's so dialed in and focused. And this guy got in there and made him laugh. I thought that was pretty cool.
So cool. So cool. Must have been a great experience to be there. One day, Harry, I think, I think I need to get there. And we have some friends, if you're looking for some incredible golf experiences over at All Access GTE, head to the link in our Instagram bio for a special portal that takes you into, experiences, special pricing. I mean, if you're going to do it the right way, elevate your golf experience with All Access GTE. Unlock the golf experiences you've always dreamed of, and tell them that Swing It and Ding It sent you. We had Roy Clark on over in Ireland, and he just painted the picture for what it would be like to travel over there to play, and it all be planned out for the professionals. So head to our Instagram page, link in bio, and check those guys out for sure. But Harry, we move on to the RBC Heritage. Got a little preview from Mr. Hanson, Hilton Head, South Carolina, at a signature event right after the Masters. So you have 69 golfers. You have Victor Hovland has withdrew from the tournament, and you have Scheffler, who he's still in there. He's still plus 400 at the top of the leaderboard, but we don't know what's going to happen with him if he's going to have to withdraw. But I know you like this event. I love this course. I love watching it. It's shaping up to be another great one without too much of a letdown after last week.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, this was always, though, the event after the Masters where guys could just sort of, sort of relax. It's a low-key event. Now it's a signature event for the second straight year. You mentioned 69 players. There's no cut this week either. So everybody's making it all the way through. Par 71s, just over 7,200 yards. A Pete Dye golf course, but Jack Nicklaus was on it. In the beginning, it was sort of a combo. This is, did some reading on this. This is where Pete Dye really got noticed because Jack suggested they go hire him to design the golf course. Now they ended up working on it together, but this sort of put Pete Dye into the architecture game, if you will, back in the late 60s. Bermuda grass all over the place. It's tight. You heard Chris Hanson talk about it. He played it. There's a lot of places where there's dog legs and there's overhanging, live oak trees with Spanish moss. And you might be in the fairway, but you still don't have a shot at the green because there's overhanging trees. It would probably drive me nuts, Moose, if I played at this place. But it is one of the cool places to watch. It just looks like a great place to live and, just sort of walk around and watch these guys play. 3 par 5s, only 3, 4 par 3s. The closing holes are tremendous. It starts with that par 3 14th. You talk about, in amongst the trees, and there's water all down the right side, 192 yards. You're going to see a lot of shots bail out left of the green. Then you go to the par 5, the only par 5 on the back, the 15th, 588 yards, requires a straight as a string tee shot and favored down the right side of a really skinny fairway. Home and 2 requires a high iron shot over some really tall trees with water looming short and left of an enlarged green. And it's one of the larger greens on the course, and they're not very big. The par 4 16th, you start to head out towards Calabogie Sound for the finish. Par 4, 434 yards, large waste area and a bunker down the left side, a dog leg left with a tree right in the middle of the fairway, about 320 yards out off the tee. So that'll play havoc with guys that will try to stretch it out, off the tee. The par 3 17th is awesome. You're now, dealing with Calabogie Sound. It's right in there in view, and it actually plays up the left side of the green complex. Wind will be in the players' faces, making a small tiered green even appear even smaller, and it's 198 yards from the back tee. The par 4 18th, the classic hole you see over my shoulder with the lighthouse in view. The players will want to aim towards that lighthouse from the tee. There's a big wide landing area about 270, 280 yards out there, trees all down the right, but then they're going to have somewhat of a blind shot in for their approach to a green, and it's guarded by bunker in the front. There's marsh area all over the place, but it's going to play a central figure in the drama that we will see on Sunday night. And then there's been plenty of playoffs at this event, so I wouldn't be surprised if 2 or 3 guys are taking a golf cart and heading back to the 18th tee to finish this one off.
Oh yeah. It's we talked about some of the guys that play really well here. I'm going to quote our buddy Jeff Ulrich, who I talk about all the time. He has a couple good stats. 8 of the 12 winners here had 2 top 5s or better finishing worldwide in the current year we're playing in. And 10 of the 13 winners had a T23 or better at this golf course. So we talked about guys like Cantlay, guys that have some experience. The winners, Fitzpatrick in 23, Spieth in 22, Stu Cink in 21.
Yeah.
So different types of players can win this thing, but obviously it doesn't seem like you need to be a bomber like you talked about, Harry.
Right.
But as we move in to see the line, also we're going to get into a little bit of Pete Dye because we're talking about Corrales Punta Cana, and I am heading to Casa de Campo on Sunday. I will actually land not too far away from where they will be finishing on Sunday, but I don't think I'm going to be stopping by. I think I'm heading right to Casa de Campo, where our friend Pete Dye has designed some incredible golf courses. But some of the guys, Cantlay jumps out at me. He's got a third place or better in 4 of 6 here. I actually took him in the one and done. I think he's due for a bounce back. He's at 1,600. I am looking at Wyndham Clark now after Hanson talking about it at that 3,500 number.
That's
I'm like,
juicy.
why is he down that far? Maybe Vegas knows something we don't, or maybe they don't. And then Fleetwood, right? He is sitting at the top of the board. This is a perfect place to get your first victory.
It is.
Right at plus 1,800. I just think you could see him getting it done here. How about you, Harry? Do you like?
I had a vision, Danielle and Moose, this week, actually in a dream where I saw Tommy Fleetwood in a tartan jacket, accepting the trophy on Sunday night. So I'm taking him. I took him already in the one and done. So beware. But I like Matthew Pavon too as a top 20 plus 200. He hits it straight as a string. Really good iron player, and he's playing really well since joining this tour. Shane Lowry too is a guy who I really like around here. Plus 130 and a top
sponsors exemption into this, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Gary Woodling, Kistner, Shane Lowry, and Webb Simpson.
Yeah. Is that their team, the RBC team coming in this week?
Basically.
RBC's got some money, so this is a signature event, and their exemptions are getting in.
Yeah,
20 million limited field, no cut, aka guaranteed payout plus FedEx Cup points. I think
it's 700 FedEx Cup points, I think, if you win this. Cam Davis is another guy who's coming off a really good Masters, top 10 at plus 500. JT Poston hits it straight, can putt it. Top 20 at plus money. Give me plus 170 for him. And I'm going to take Oberg over McIlroy in a matchup at minus 120. This golf course, to me, takes Rory's greatest weapon away from him.
One of the fun facts I saw, 9 of the past 10 winners of the RBC played in the Masters the week prior.
Yeah.
And then Harry, as you said, Cam Davis, 2 straight top 7 finishes. And he played well last week. So
yeah, I think Cantlay is the only guy that has a better strokes gained on this golf course over the last 5 years. Cam Davis
is there any update on his mysterious injury, or
I have not heard anything about it. He's keeping that quiet.
Yeah.
We talked about see the line. We always see it with our friends at Draftkings because the PGA Tour is in full swing. Get in on the action at Draftkings Sportsbook, an official betting operator of the PGA Tour. This week, new customers can turn $5 into $150 instantly in bonus bets on any golf bet. We talked about some of the guys. Scheffler, will he remain in the field at that plus 400? Will a guy like Tommy Fleetwood get over the hump at plus 1,800? Harry likes him. He had a vision. He had a dream. So we'll see how that goes. But take a look at the board. There's some very interesting plays to be had, and obviously always some great props on DraftKings Sportsbook. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code DING. New customers can bet $5 to get $150 instantly in bonus bets only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code DING, D-I-N-G. The crown is yours.
Yeah, and we got 2 tournaments this week. You got the opposite field event in Punta Cana. You mentioned you're going there, Moose.
Yep.
I'm taking Alex Noren. I think he might be he might be top of the board. He's either him or Højgaard.
No, yeah. Well, they are co.
Okay. I'm just taking them.
I think they are at 1,400. Both of them.
Okay, well, he was second at Bermuda, which is another super windy track. He was 9th at the Cognizant in Palm Beach Gardens. That's got a lot of wind and water. It doesn't bother him. I'm taking Noren to the house.
I like that. I like that play. I'm interested in seeing, and his name got brought up earlier with Chris Hanson, with Daniel Berger.
Yeah,
right? Just to see how he's doing, getting back. I mean, he's got a huge plus 4,500 if you want to take a shot at him.
He and Bud Cauley are both around the same number, both coming back from injury and both in the field. I'm looking forward to watching a little bit of that.
There's some value on that board too. Guys like Joel Damon, will he pop up? We talked about Bud Cauley, Sam Ryder.
Yeah. Matty Schmid. Watch out for that guy.
Yeah. It's one of those off events that someone could really jump up and make some hay. So
and our friend Braden Shattuck is in the field.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Yeah. He was plus, what was he? Plus 20,000 to win, and a top 40 at plus 700 for Braden Shattuck.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, but listen, we're going to have Robert Bertel back on from Casa de Campo soon, director of golf operations. I can't wait to get down there, playing Teeth of the Dog, playing Die For. How about I believe she's 13-year-old daughter, Eleanor, gets a hole-in-one on one of the signature par 3 holes along the water at Casa de Campo a couple months ago. Tremendous stuff. Tremendous stuff. He was so excited. I was
have either of you guys had a hole-in-one yet?
No.
I have one.
You do have one?
Yeah. North Hills, par 3, third hole.
Was anyone with you,
yards.
Harry?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Have you come close since?
Maybe 5 to 10 feet at the 1912 club on number 16.
Wow.
Yeah. How about in our outing last year on number 5? I had it bounced over the hole, sat 7 inches away.
Number 5 is that which one?
The par 3. It's up top. It's elevated a little bit.
Okay, the elevated one. Okay.
Yeah.
It's tough because we started on a different number, so to go through.
Right. Yeah.
I have to give a shout out to Brandon's dad. He watches listens all the time, and he always comments on the on our podcast. But I think he's had a few hole-in-ones, but he's had one where he was solo by himself, and he called Brandon. He's like, "I got a hole-in-one." We're like, "Well, did you?" He's like, "I'll take a picture." We're like, anyone can take a picture of the ball in the cup. That's got to be brutal, right?
Teddy? You're not taking Teddy's word.
I believe you, Teddy.
Man.
Don't worry about it. I believe you. Don't listen to these people. Count it. Great stuff. We are running a contest too. I'm going to repost it after the episode with a couple cool prizes: a Swing It and Ding It hat, a Groove It brush, and a signed copy of Jimmy James' book. So take a look at that, and we'll get the DraftKings contest going again. I usually take off after a major because even though it's a signature event, there's a bit of a letdown. But we will be back soon, and more information on the Fox Sports The Gambler Swing It and Ding It Open, benefiting the Magical Milo Foundation, as we are creeping up to just 3 months away. So we're going to get things finalized, and we're at a pretty good number already. So if you want to get in and you're waiting, you should probably get in soon. So. Great stuff as always. Thanks to Chris Hanson. Oh, make sure you can watch us on YouTube as well, Fox Sports The Gambler, or listen to us anywhere you listen to your podcast. But we appreciate it as always, and we'll be back next week.